Hello, Cozykins. Welcome home. And for those of you that are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. My name is Lani, and welcome to Cozy Cove. Today, we are playing this lovely game called Undusted Letters from the Past. We are going to be playing this game in its entirety, so sit back, grab a hot cup of tea, then snuggle in a warm blanket. But before we get started, I would like to thank Aria from Togue Productions for gifting us this game so that we can relax and unwind as I share this game with you called Undusted Letters from the Past. Now let me tell you a little bit about this game. We will be lightly cleaning treasured belongings from a young girl's past named Medora. As we clean each belonging, we will learn the backstories behind these treasured items. A bit of warning though, make sure you have some tissues handy for this one. Okay, now let's begin our journey to the past alongside with Adora. Okay, Letters from the Past Undusted. Look at the artwork, how gorgeous. I love how the little dust particles are glistening in the sunlight. That's pretty. All right, let's start the game. When I first think of my family home, the first things that come to mind are the glittering lake and the gently sloping hills. After walking through the bustling streets, over the hills, and along the lakeside, my house and its bright red roof soon came into view. I would chat with Mom and Dad as we passed through the front gate together, and the big lemon tree in the yard would always greet us. For someone like me who lacked courage, maybe all I need was an excuse. No matter how small, the letter from my aunt was enough. Dear Adora, long time no see. How have you been? Are you doing all the things you always wanted to do? It's been a while since I've heard from you. Come to think of it, the last time we saw each other was at Lily's funeral. Oh no. I'm so sorry to trouble you after all this time, but I can't find the necklace your mother gave me. I'm fairly certain that I left it at your house after one of my visits. I really thought I lost it for good, you know. I know it's a bit of a hassle, but could you send it to me? It should be in the attic. That's where Lily and I spent most of our time together when I was over. Thank you. Love, your aunt. It's been a long time since I last came back. I should tidy up the place. I suppose now's the right time. For the time being, it's the least that I can do. The key. Ah, here it is. It's rusted all over. I'll have to clean it before I can use it. All right, we got a rusty key. Let's clean this rusty key. Select a tool on the left to clean the key. All right, let's clean this key. Oh, this is satisfying. Gotta scrub it all good. It's, we need to reach 40%. Oh. Hints are available after cleaning items to a certain extent. Hold tab to view the areas that need cleaning. Okay. We are almost clean. Wait. I don't see anything else. We're at 99.5% clean. Reaching 99% will enable the wrap up button. Finish cleaning by either reaching 100 or cleaning progress by pressing the wrap up button. Okay, I don't see the other spot to clean. All right, we cleared level 1. When was the last time this place was cleaned? There's so much dust that I can barely breathe. I need to go to the attic and find that necklace. Why is it locked? Now that I can think of it, I hardly ever been into the attic. Mom was always the one in charge of it. Oh well, I need to clean the rest of my house anyway. The attic key should eventually turn up. Where should I even start? The house key. It hasn't been used in a long time. Memories beneath the dust. After being neglected for so long, the house was so heavily laden with dust that I needed a mask to breathe normally. I opened a window and started clearing out some of the dust. When it was cleaning day, I used to be in charge of the floors. Mom took care of the furniture, and Dad handled the windows and any tall places that were out of reach. If I closed my eyes, I could almost hear it all again. The sounds of Mom wiping down the furniture and Dad's humming. While cleaning the living room, I found a dust-covered photo frame on the shelf. Housed inside was our first family photo. Chapter 1, Once Upon a Time. A special photo. Let's clean this item. When we went to take our first family photo, Dad had made a peculiar suggestion. While it wasn't unusual for him to say so or to do something quirky, none of us saw it coming. Why don't we all wear animal costumes? It'll be Adora's first ever family photo, so let's make it a special and unforgettable experience. He pleaded like a giddy child, arms firmly wrapping around the large costume. Mom let out a deep sigh. Here we go again. Aw, that sounds sweet. All right, let's clean this family photo. It was massive. He really loved his jokes and pranks. A complete 180 from Mom. All right, let's go ahead and grab this sponge and give it a good undusting. Gotta get in those corners. This is very peaceful and yet relaxing. Gotta get every little pixel clean. All right, we got some hints unlocked. Tiny little pixels in there that don't always get completely clean. All right, now let's get the photo. We're at 99.90. There's always that one little pixel. That's a beautiful family photo, is it not? I love that. Forever. Aww. There's one little tiny pixel. that we haven't gotten. Where is it though? There we go. 100%. A special photo. Honey, don't you think there's a reason why people take more traditional photos? Because they couldn't come up with anything creative? Look at Dad making the bunny ears. Are you serious? Can't we just take a normal picture? But, Adora, look at this. What a cute cat. Oh, so you're only trying to talk Adora into your plan now, huh? Guess they want to get a kitty cat. Our very first family photo together. A seemingly ordinary picture with an amusing story behind it. Oh no. And so ensued a battle between the unstoppable father and his immovable mother. As always, Mom won, leaving Dad with his soldier's hunch in defeat. While Mom was talking to the photographer, I snuck over to Dad and whispered, "Let's wear costumes next time." He only responded with a slight nod. When I looked at the photo afterward, I saw that he had given me bunny ears. Mom noticed shortly afterward and gave Dad a light rap on the head. But the sheer dad-like triumph on his face sent us all into a fit of laughter. Our very first family photo together. Okay, a fitting appearance. Clean the item. When I was young, Mom often told me it was dangerous to go into the kitchen or the attic alone. But the more someone told me not to do something, the more I wanted to do it. That is just how it actually is, guys. That is so true. I always want to do things when people say not to do it. Guilty as charged. One day, when Mom and Dad were out, I excitedly went into the kitchen to examine the cupboard that was just barely within reach. Uh-oh. My heart was pounding as I opened the cupboard. There were many beautiful porcelain teacups, and I took out the one I thought was the prettiest. Suddenly, the front door opened with a creak. Someone was back. Uh-oh. It was the sound of the porcelain breaking onto the floor. The teacup had slipped out of my hands. The sharp sound of shattering porcelain froze me in place. I heard Mom urgently calling my name. When she came into the kitchen and saw what had happened, her face froze. Oh no. I hope it wasn't a family heirloom. Probably was. It's broken. Her face was so pale and stern. I had never seen her look like that before. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get the handle. Oh, it's a pretty gold color too. Oh, a symbol. Definitely going to need to get that brush back in here. Get all the little fine lines. I like how peaceful and relaxing this game is. And the music is quite calming, which is very enjoyable. I always get into that like upper 99 percentile and always trying to find my last little pixel. Is there a little crevice? I am searching for a teeny tiny little pixel or two that is not cleansed. I don't see the others. The good thing about it is that when you get to this point in your cleaning and you can find that last pixel or two, you can always choose to wrap up. Okay, because I don't see my last little pixel. I would think it would be on the rim. All right, let's wrap up. Clearing level 3. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to break it. Adora, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? Mom, I am so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you, and I even broke one of the teacups. It's okay, Adora. Everything's okay as long as you aren't hurt. A porcelain teacup that is barely intact, one of Mom's most treasured possessions. Oh no. She took very well to it. She took it like a champ. After giving me a big hug, she started to carefully gather the shards of the porcelain in silence. I still couldn't forget how she had looked at the broken teacup. The next day, I secretly retrieved the shards from the trash and clumsily glued everything back together. Then I returned the fragile teacup to its place in the cupboard, hoping that Mom would feel better after seeing it. When Mom discovered the teacup later, she murmured, "This is much more fitting appearance." I didn't understand why, but her smile looked bitter. It's missing a handle. What glows in the dark? Oh. What glows in the dark? Mom loved writing with fountain pens, no matter how long the letter or document. Whenever I asked if it was tiring to write so much by hand, she would always say, "It's difficult, but it's worth it." Mom had a routine before writing. First, she would sit at her desk with a perfect posture. Then, she neatly laid out the fresh sheet of paper. Finally, she'd select one ink bottle from her collection and gracefully dip the nib of her exquisite fountain pen. I loved watching this process, so I used to sit quietly beside her when she took up her pen. Watching her fill empty sheets of paper with her handwriting imparted a special feeling I couldn't experience anywhere else. Aw, that's so magical. Okay, so here is her ink. Here is her inkwell. She had so many inkwells, sometimes I'd spent half the day just looking at them all. I don't think she uses one very often. All right, let's give it a polish. Good undusting. Look at the dust coming off this bad boy. Yes, this is definitely satisfying. Hints unlocked. Press tab to use. Alright, let's put the sponge down. Here, now that we have our sponge down, we can see our hints. We need to get all of those. Okay, let's get the brush. The brush gets in all those little grooves. There we go. We're in the 99th percentile again. The good thing is that once you get in this point, you can't find the last little tiny pieces. Like this is where my numbers usually I get stuck on, is in the 97 percentile. I mean the 99.7 percentile. So I'm going to use my look at these tiny little pixels. You can barely even see them. Look at this. Okay. I like how we're able to find them with the hints. There we go. Look at that inkwell. So beautiful. Only in the darkest nights can you discover the star hidden within. Lewis. That's a quote from Mom's favorite writer. Why is it written on here? Because it was in a limited edition ink. Ah, that's why she doesn't use it often. Dad and I were still university students, so it took him a lot of hard work to buy it. Oh, but it looks new. It's because you don't want to waste it? Adora, let me show you something. If you write with this ink and then turn off the lights, can you see the words glowing? The darker the room is, the brighter the ink shines.
What?
Oh, wow. To Adora, Lily and Ash's beloved daughter. You need to eat a variety of foods to grow big and strong. But I hate carrots. If you come brave enough to finish your carrots, I'll give you a fountain pen as a present. Special glow-in-the-dark ink. No wonder why she doesn't use it often. I adored fountain pens, so it was an irresistible offer. Mom looked into my awestruck eyes and said, "Do you know why I love fountain pens? Because you can learn about someone through their handwriting. Even if I wrote something without much thought behind it, I learned more about myself after reading those words." She gently closed the inkwell. For some reason after that day, I never saw her use a fountain pen again. Oh my goodness, that sounds so sad. Ooh, what is this? A turtle? Dad absolutely loved music. Whenever he could, he'd be humming or playing various instruments. He told me that he used to be in a children's choir and that he had joined a band during his university days. Whenever he returned home from work, he'd sing a little song he composed titled, "Dad Loves Coming Home." Mom would always warn him about disturbing the neighbors, but she could never mask her smile. Thanks to Dad, music enriched every dimension of our lives. Her dad sounds very playful and happy. All right, let's give our turtle a little polish. The first line always made me laugh. What was it again? "You can't hold me back, I'm free. No one can ever stop me." Was that it? Oh my goodness. A musical turtle. Oh my gosh, this little turtle is so cute. It even had like barnacles on it. I like when you rubber the holes. You can make your own music. That's a nice touch. All right, let's get that. Let's get our brush to get into those little grooves. There's going to be lots of tiny grooves in this one. Oh, the mouth is a musical too. Oh, that's the flute part. You blow into its mouth. Put your fingers on the holes to make music. This is a nice musical turtle. Ooh. We're missing some spots there. Can we get in there? There we go. Ooh, a tiny one in there. Oh, there we go. Do we see any more? Oh my goodness, a teeny tiny little spot. We would have never seen that without the little hint. That is cute. Adora, I'm done. After my hit single, Dad Loves Coming Home, my newest release is Dad Loves the Weekend. You sure you're not a kid too? You got me. Since my secret's out, how about a song? Where did I put my ocarina? Dad, if you love music so much, why'd you become an accountant? Music and accounting are completely different. That's a good question, Adora. You see, I love music, but it doesn't mean that I can't live without it. On the other hand, I get itchy if I don't work with numbers, even for a single day. To achieve happiness, it's not about doing what you want. It's about doing what you can't live without. When you find something like that, you'll understand exactly how I feel. This is so cute. Dad then started to joyfully play his ocarina. His face was that of a man who had everything he needed to be happy. I suddenly grew curious and asked, "Then what can't you live without?" He replied, "Lily and Adora. That's why I'm the happiest man in the world." He then declared that his next song would be named Dad is Super Duper Happy. Despite my laughter, I couldn't wait to hear the next release of his Dad series. I often found myself humming his songs, and his words stayed with me. Would I also find something I couldn't live without? Yeah, absolutely. A discreet apology. Is this a little piggy bank? One day on our way home, we came across a cute kitten crying by its lonesome. Aww. I couldn't bear to leave it there by itself, so I begged my parents to let me bring it back with us. Without hesitation, Dad started brainstorming ways to lure the kitten. Should we get some food as bait? How about foxtail grass? Maybe a cardboard box? Dad and I excitedly exchanged ideas, but after a few minutes, we realized that Mom hadn't said a single word. Mom doesn't apparently like cats. Dad really had the heart of a child. Instead of stopping me, he joined right in. This looks like a kitty bank. Okay. Ooh. Look at this tool. It's like a steamer. Wow. To be honest, I didn't think the cat was going to be gray. Nonetheless, it is very cute. Look at that face. Wow, this is very soothing, isn't it? This is a great game to play when you just need to relax and calm down. It's very therapeutic. It really is. It's calming and peaceful. And the storyline that's going with it is definitely pleasant. It's a nice story, too. I hope we can get in those kitty ears. We've unlocked the cheats. We have unlocked the hints. Thank goodness, because with all these curves, we're probably going to be missing quite a bit. We are at our 99 percentile. So let's see if there are any other spots that we can spot before we use our hint. I'm assuming it's probably on the face somewhere. I knew it. It was on the face. There we go. I don't think we're ready to own a cat. We don't know how to properly care for one, and we don't have any cat food or supplies. How can we care for it if we can't fulfill its needs? But, Lily, aren't you being a bit too serious? Of course, having a pet is a huge responsibility, but Adora can learn how to be responsible by taking care of it. And we can buy whatever supplies we need. What if its mother is still around? We might be taking a child from its parent. She could have been abandoned. That isn't something we know for sure. No means no, Adora. Oh no, she said no. A striped cat plushie. It is soft and makes cute sounds when you squeeze it. I was so upset that after we returned home, I slammed my door shut and refused to leave my room. That evening, Dad came over and gave me a stuffed animal. It was soft, fluffy, and looked like the kitten from before. That is so nice. Mom bought this for you, but she didn't know how to give it to you. The softness of the plushie mollified the sadness of my heart. A few days later, I saw the same kitten at the same spot. This time, though, it was with another cat with a matching coat. Its mother. Mom was right. If I had taken the kitten home, I couldn't help but feel ashamed. Wow. Unforgettable moments. Clean the item. Ooh, a snow globe. Can't wait to see what's inside this. My hometown was always too warm for snow. If any snow did happen to fall, it would melt as soon as it touched the ground. Things like snowball fights and snowmen only existed in TV shows and fiction. Some of my childhood wishes included leaving footprints in fresh white snow, making snow angels, and building a huge snowman. When we finally had time for a family trip, I begged to go somewhere with an abundance of snow. Aw, there's nothing like that. She's right. Spot on. Ooh, we have a cloth, a sponge, and a toothbrush this time. And that's how we ended up having a snowy vacation. Thanks to that, I got to check off a lot of things off my bucket list. Oh, that's nice. We're gonna make it squeaky clean when it's done. But let's get this going. Oh, we have flowers. We're cleaning them off. I kind of like the flowers on it. It was growing algae and flowers. Oh my goodness, I thought the flowers looked really pretty on there. What? It's part of the stuff we have to scrub. Oh my goodness, we really have to scrub hard on that. Oh, maybe the polishing will do that. Yeah, probably the polishing. Let's get this basic scrub down. There we go. Get all those little fine lines. This is definitely a great game to play before bed to help you unwind from a hectic day. All right, let's give it a nice polish. There we go. Look at that beautiful Christmas town. I love how the stars twinkling. Oh my goodness, we're at that 99 percentile again. There's a spot right there. I love the animation of the cloth. I love that. All right, let's look for a hint. Look how it's lighting up. All right, so it's just right under there. There we go. We got it. Aww. Dad, the snow crunches when you step on it. And when you lie down, it's soft and fluffy. That's one of my favorite things about walking in the snow, is the crunching sound when you step on it. I love that. Really? Then I want to lie down too. Huh? You're right, Adora. It feels soft. I saw on TV that if you wave your arms and legs like this, you can make a huge snow angel. Then how about we make some big snow angels to watch over our family? Okay. Marshmallows are ready. You two better eat first or you won't have enough energy to play. Marshmallows? Toasted marshmallows. A snow globe we purchased on a family trip and invokes many happy memories. Let's shake it. Look at that. I love how you can interact with the artifacts afterwards too. We made giant snow angels, built snowmen, and had an all-out snowball fight with no regard for how snow-crusted our clothes became. After it grew dark, we gathered around the fireplace and drank sweet cocoa. As the comforting warmth of the fire lulled me to sleep, I could hear Dad humming and Mom turning the pages of her book. On our way home, we bought a snow globe to commemorate all the wonderful memories from our vacation. However, since some time ago, I had deliberately hid the snow globe out of sight. Those warm memories became a source of agony, as they reminded me of the days I could never return to. I definitely feel that pain on that one. Because as I was reading this, I felt that too. Oh, this game is so good. What I dreamed of. Frozen in time. I had hoped to find the attic key in the living room, but it didn't turn up. I decided to search my room next. It looked exactly as it did on the day that I left home. Only the thick layer of dust on everything indicated any passage of time. My focus was drawn to my desk where Dad's pocket watch lay. There used to be a time when its cogs still turned and its soft ticking could still be heard. When Mom gave Dad this pocket watch, Dad was delighted with the engraved design, a lily, just like Mom's name. Wherever Dad went, so did the pocket watch. Shortly after I started high school, the pocket watch fell silent for good. I have a feeling that the dad passed away in high school. Dad, how are you doing? Are you still cracking jokes over there? I don't think I'm doing that well. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful pocket watch. Oh, wow. There's a lot of little crevices on this pocket watch. Really got to get in there and get that clean. Oh, looks like we can open it. I definitely want to give that a try. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we were only at 50%. It totally needed to be open. All right, let's get that polishing cloth with the glass. Etched in heart. I love the polishing cloth. All right, we're going to need a clue. goodness. We would have never seen that. Here we go. That's a beautiful pocket watch with a lily on it. Adora, how many times have I told you not to call the office directly? You're usually back by now, and I couldn't get in touch with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I got caught up at work and completely lost track of time. I'll make sure to check my phone more often from now on, but please, text instead of call. All right. Oh yeah, Mom. I was cleaning my room earlier, and I found the cassette player that Dad gave me. I'm sorry, Adora, but I still have a lot of work to do. Don't wait for me, and make sure you don't go to bed too late. That is so sad. This is such a sad story. Mom, wait, Broken pocket watch. Its time remains eternally frozen, just like my family's. This is a sad story, though. I desperately needed Mom, but she threw herself into work as if she wanted to forget Dad, and maybe all of us. Days passed and we barely spoke to or even saw each other. I kept telling myself that I had to try to understand her, that she was raising me all by herself now. But my grief and sorrow grew nearly unbearable as they rendered my nights sleepless. Things would have been much easier if I had just blamed her. Yet, whenever I saw Mom so exhausted and fatigued, sadness came before anger. I hated her for leaving me alone, but at the same time, it pained me to see her eroding away. As much as I longed for her comfort, I wanted to comfort her too. Oh my goodness gracious. What I found in the darkness. When I couldn't stand the silence in the house, I would listen to Dad's tapes. Listening to those songs made it feel like he was right there beside me. One day, I heard a composer tell his story on the radio show. When I was a kid, my father used to hum songs he had wrote himself, so I became interested in music. I hardly saw him after my parents divorced, but whenever I sang his songs, I felt like I was back in those happy childhood days. That's how I started composing. For me, it was a way of bringing comfort, not only to me, but to others in similar circumstances. I could see myself in his story, and his song resonated with me. Naturally, I admired him. Finally, I understood what Dad had meant. I wanted to tell him that I found something I couldn't live without doing. I found a part-time job and started saving money for composing tools. When Mom asked about it, I thought she was finally taking some interest in my life. I still think it works. Should I turn it on now? This one's going to be hard to clean. This one looks challenging. Gotta get all those little fancy buttons. All right, we got our hints unlocked. We can definitely still see some more spots on this one. so relaxing and satisfying. And 10 out of 10, I recommend. It's going to be teeny tiny little spots. It's time to use our reveal. There we go. Oh, can we get in those grooves? Wow. Those are going to be like really hard to get to. They're like inside. Ah. There we go. It looked green, so I thought that was it. We're gonna slide these. There we go. Mom, you're late again. You must be exhausted. Yes, a little. How was your day? Adora, what are all those things? Oh, these? A MIDI controller, a microphone. They're tools for composing. By composing, do you mean composing music? Uh-huh. I started making songs little by little, and I got a part-time job to buy these tools myself. Wait, Adora, a part-time job? You started working just for a hobby? Adora, you need to be studying hard for your future right now. Don't waste your time on things like that, and quit your part-time job too. Mom doesn't seem to be very understanding or supportive. Okay, that's enough. I like interacting with them. I wanted to tell her that it wasn't just a hobby, that I was serious. But before I can say anything, Mom said she was tired and headed towards her room. My words were met with the sound of her door closing shut. I was left alone in an all too familiar silence. I was angry at Mom for not listening to my words, but I kept trying to understand her. I thought she might change her mind if I showed her how serious I was. Much like how music had comforted me, I wanted Mom to feel comforted too, and if possible, with a song of my own creation. Oh, she's gonna make music like her father. Melody of Comfort. After that day, I spent every spare moment composing. Not only was it my first song, but it was a song for my mom. When I felt that I had poured enough of my heart into it, I recorded a song onto my cassette tape. I fervently hoped that it would bring her some comfort. Even if I couldn't fully convince her, if I could at least help her feel a little bit better. When Mom came back home, exhausted as usual, I nervously handed her the tape. Oh my goodness, I wonder what's on it. I thought if Mom listened to it, she would understand how serious I was. I love the beautiful flowers on it. All right, our hints are unlocked. Whoops. There's a lot of crevices in here. Let's check our hints. Oh, not too bad. I kept trying to get that spot. I just couldn't get in there. Ooh, big spot there. I'm gonna get that. Gotta be in the buttons. There we go. You composed this yourself? Yeah, the melody came to me first, so I started with that. I'm still working on the lyrics. Oh, and there's another one I'm preparing for the competition. The theme is... Hold up, Adora. Didn't I tell you last time you need to focus on your studies? Mom, I know it might seem like only a hobby right now, but please, can you at least try listening? Adora, do you ever hear what you're saying? How can you waste your time on this instead of studying for your future? I'm tired, so let's talk about this another time. Another time? When's that gonna be? When you quit your job? As if that'll happen. Adora, I'm saying this for your sake. I'm serious about becoming a composer. I want to make it so you don't have to worry about money anymore. And people said I'm pretty talented, so... Adora, I said no. Don't even think about it. Right now, you may feel like you're special. Oh my goodness. Talented. There's no word for meaningless. Don't get carried away because of a mere compliment. Praise proves absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness. Dad's cassette player, despite how old it is, it can still play tapes. Why was she so angry? Why was she more tired than usual? Even now, I still don't know why Mom reacted so explosively. I never expected her to yell at me like that. Her fury left me speechless. While I was stunned, she tore the tape from my hands and threw it into the trash. Without so much as a backwards glance, she said, "Stop wasting your time on worthless things like this." What she threw away wasn't only a cassette tape. Therein was a piece of my heart that held my drive to comfort Mom, despite the loneliness after Dad's passing. Even if hating her was an easier path, I didn't give up trying to understand her. But at that moment, when my heart was equated to trash, I felt something disappear inside me. After Mom's rage quelled and silence fell once again, I finally gave up trying to understand her. The right to hurt. The music box was the last present I ever received from Dad. Whenever I felt lonely, I would wind it up and talk to him as if he were right there beside me. Dad, if you were still here, you would have supported me, right? Mom doesn't understand what it's like to have a dream, to have something you can't live without. All she wants to do is fit into a mold. That's probably the only kind of life she knows. I cried for a long time, pouring out my anguish. Listening to the music box play, it felt like Dad was sitting right next to me. After that day, I stopped waiting for Mom. I didn't even want her to talk to me anymore. I had nothing to say to her. Oh my goodness. That is very sad and disturbing. Her mother's so exhausted taking care of her by herself. And she's too busy worrying about helping her focus. She's missing the important things. Like being there for her, comforting her, supporting her dreams. It's easy to get lost in the hustle and bustle of things. Gotta stop and take time. Because time is precious. It's the only thing that we can't really control. We have absolutely no control over time. And once time is gone, it's gone. I like this little mini Victrola. It's really pretty. I always wanted to have a Victrola. So pretty. All the little shadows are tiny pixels that still need to be cleaned. I wonder why the mom's so angry. Maybe because she's tired? Maybe she's tired that she has to be always feeling like the responsible one. Oh my goodness. All right, we got our hints unlocked. Try that air thing again and the keys. It seems like every time I clean this buckle, it gets dirty again. What are we at? Only 88%. Wow, I must be missing something. I'm missing a big chunk. Have to wait for this to recharge. It's beautiful. The music box Victrola. That's really pretty. All right, time for some clues. All these little tiny spots. Probably wouldn't have seen them much. Oh my goodness, we missed quite a bit here. It's hard to get in that area. We're gonna need to wind it again. There we go. Perfect. That's a beautiful music box. Adora, can we talk for a minute? I'm busy right now. I'm sorry for how I acted. I must have been tired, so I got emotional. But it was for your sake, Adora. I don't want you to suffer. Right now, things may seem fun and exciting, so you might think that the road ahead will be easy. Someday you'll understand. For now, it would be better if you focused on your studies and kept composing as a hobby. Now I get why you're saying these things. You've never had anything you truly wanted to do, have you? All you've ever done is live by other people's standards. That's why you don't understand how serious I am and what it's like to have something you can't live without. If Dad were here, he would have understood me. At least he wouldn't have thrown away my tape like that. He wasn't anything like you. Ouch. The music box played after you wind it. The last gift Dad ever gave me. I wonder why it was the last gift. He must have passed on. I deliberately chose the words that would hurt her the most. I thought I had the right to, since she was the one who hurt me first. Mom said nothing during my verbal onslaught. Her silence only fueled my rage, so my words became harsher, crueler, more vicious. Mom quietly took the wrath. After the room fell silent, she left without a single word. Left alone, I picked up the music box and said to myself, "It's okay. That was nothing compared to what she did to me." A radiant dream. It was a peaceful weekend afternoon. I started to doze off after putting stickers all over Dad's camera. In my half-awake state, I could faintly make out Mom and Dad's voices as they quietly talked. I wanted to keep listening to their conversation, but before long, I fell asleep. Dad used to take pictures of me and Mom whenever he could. It looks like it still might work if I charge it. I'll try turning it on after cleaning it. Look at all the stickers. This one is really dirty. This camera's cleaning up nicely. Cute. There we go. All right, we unlock the hints. Get it behind the flash. Keep thinking this is something here, but I guess it's not. Man, we are at... accidentally took a photo. Say cheese. Okay, we're gonna need a hint. They're just tiny little, tiny pieces. There we go. How are we gonna get that lens to pop out? There we go. Oh my goodness, it's really in there. I wonder if we can get that lens to pop out some more. Let's see. Maybe. Oh no, you can't even see it now. Oh my goodness. Ow. Trying to get in there. Oh, let's use this. It's not getting in there either. We're gonna have to wrap that one up. Adora, did you finish your homework? Shh. She fell asleep after playing with the camera again. She really does love it. She's interested in so many things, like music and writing. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? I only hope she doesn't become like me. You still have regrets about back then? You know, I thought you were so beautifully radiant. It's all in the past now. I was naive and foolish. Chasing was my only dream. Now I'm awake and live in reality. Let's not talk about this anymore, all right? All right. Oh no. The camera contained a recording that I had never seen before. Had I pressed the record button while I was asleep? The slanted video captured a long conversation between Mom and Dad. I found it difficult to understand. The mom I knew had always seemed so ordinary. Suddenly, I realized that perhaps the words I had so aggressively thrown at her that day meant more than I thought. That moment kept playing over and over in my mind. How silently she stood before my anger. How silently she had left the room, followed only by the sound of the door closing. Chapter 3. Where that dream now resides. Only Mom's room was left. Holding the old doorknob, I felt as if I were to meet Mom herself after all this time. Her room was filled with boxes, all neatly labeled and sorted by purpose. Somehow it seemed like she knew she wouldn't be coming back. One box in particular caught my attention. Things I couldn't throw away. This box contained many trophies that I had never seen before. Where did she get all these from? I really don't know anything about Mom. She was a writer. Apparently she had many, many dreams to write. This looks exactly like the symbol I saw in the teacup. Oh my goodness. It's squeaky clean. I can't believe I'm not over 80% already. Oh, it needs to be polished, that glass. The glass feather. Okay. Squeaky clean. There we go. Dad, what's that? A trophy? Yep, I got this for winning first place in a math competition. Cool, huh? Wow. Does Mom know? Well, there's no way you wouldn't show her something this cool. Of course she knows. I bragged about it all the time. But then she looked at me with that sullen look and bring the box. Huh? The box? Adora, how about a snack? We have cheesecake. Dad, don't change the subject. Trophy I'd never seen before, writing competition first place. Lily Mayer. Okay. It has the same symbol as the teacup. Okay, so it wasn't really his. He was joking. So, this was the box that Dad had mentioned. I took out a few trophies and read their plates. School writing competition, winner. Youth short story competition, excellent award. Novelist contest, first place, all for Lily Mayer. These accolades demonstrated how much she had achieved, and they were proof of a dream Mom once had. She was talented enough to win all of these awards. Why didn't she pursue her writing as a career? And why did she stop me from chasing my dreams so badly? One after another, thoughts endlessly flowed through my mind. Our last moment. Typewriter. Things were never the same after Mom threw away my cassette tape. I couldn't pretend that nothing had happened. This animosity persisted after high school, as I left home to study music at a distant university. I told myself I wouldn't call her until I had succeeded. Back then, I believed that once I graduated university, success would easily find its way to me. However, just as Mom had warned, the world was much colder than I had thought. Awards and words of praise became more and more meaningless. The further I drifted from success, the more I avoided calling Mom. I could already hear what she'd say. That's why I told you to stop. I told you it'd be a waste of time. I wasn't ready to hear those words to my face. Even after, I had to change my phone number. I couldn't bring myself to call her. Wow, that's extreme. After some time, I received an unexpected call from my aunt. Mom had passed away. Oh my goodness. I thought I'd be able to call her anytime I wanted, but I didn't have the courage to. That would mean I have to admit that she was right all along. Don't want to live with regrets. Time is too short. It's a beautiful little typewriter. Just a lovely antique piece. This typewriter has a lot of little spots. It's going to be a while to get this one. definitely going to need to use that air. And the hints for sure. A lot more pieces to go. Lots of teeny tiny crevices. Used to love typing on a typewriter. Nothing like it. Wow. Alright, let's get the little blow thing again. These look like spots, but they're not really. Let's see if we can move that. There we go. There. Lots of spots in there. Oh my. Okay, we're definitely going to need the hints now. There we go. Let's try it out. Nothing like that. What pieces are we missing? I don't know how I'm going to get underneath there. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh no, we're still not at 100. I don't even see another spot. It's underneath here. Somewhere. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get it. Let's wrap it up. Aw. Are you leaving? If I don't go now, I'll be late for my flight. You have a lot of luggage. I'll drive you to the airport. It's fine. I know you're busy. I'll be going now. Adora. Oh no. A typewriter looks like a prop from a black and white film. It seems that Mom typed her stories on it. Come to think of it, that was the last conversation we ever had. I had left without turning back, determined to return only when I had succeeded. I wanted to prove my mom wrong. But that door I shut so firmly never opened again. I opened the small drawer at the bottom of the typewriter. Inside were sheets of paper and the attic key. Most of the papers were stories that Mom had written. The rest seemed to be contracts. Among the papers were a few letters that began with a salutation. Dear Miss Lily Mayer. I picked up a letter that was filled with writing. Dear Miss Lily Mayer, it's been some time since I last penned a letter to you. I recall in your previous letters that you've been a fan of mine for some time now. I wanted to let you know that I read the story you sent this time as well. Please understand I say this for your sake. I have read your works for some time now, and they lack any aspects of exceptionality. Certainly, you could make a livelihood out of your writing, but I doubt that standard alone would be satisfactory to you. I understand your desire to be a writer. However, discretion is sometimes a better part of valor. I believe that your time would be better spent in another field of work. I truly apologize for conveying these words much too late. Sincerely, Lewis. That's the name of the inkwell. Typewriter looks like a prop. Words left unsaid. Lewis was the name of Mom's favorite writer, the writer she admired, the one who might have inspired her to pursue writing. I couldn't begin to imagine how it'd feel if someone I respected told me to give up. I imagined Mom opening the letter, hoping to find praise or encouragement, but the further she read, the greater despair on her face. If a composer I admire had said the same to me, I wouldn't have been able to take it either. All right, let's clean this phone. It's an old rotary phone. Metal-y one, bottom. Is it all metal? pretty rusted. um, kind of hard to clean. The brush seems to get a lot of things. Brush works the best. But it's also the smallest tool. Really enjoying this one. This game is really nice. And the story elements are very deep, but yet relatable to a lot of people. It's like I can't get close enough with the blower. Let's see if we can take the receiver off. There we go. We're at our hints now. A lot of them are going to be behind those buttons. We can't really get to too easy. My goodness. Definitely needed the hints on this one. This has probably been our hardest one to clean yet. Oh, you have to get the gold button right on the spot. Okay. I didn't realize that before. But that makes sense. I was too busy trying to use the air to get to the spots, not realizing that I'm supposed to use the golden glow. That makes a lot more sense. This is impossible. Uh-oh. Calling. I can't dial. It's so hard to get in these little spots. I need to be able to dial again. Can I take the phone off? There we go. A call recorded on February 19th. I think I'll be admitted to the hospital soon. Could you help me? Oh no. Tidy up the house? Please. I don't have anyone else I can ask to do this. Lily, don't say that. I still have a spare key, so I'll go by when I have time. Thank you. Before you come, I'll put away things like the trophies. It's strange, isn't it? Back then, I was so desperate to forget everything. But when I was cleaning the house and I saw my typewriter and all those trophies, I remember the days when I wrote so happily. Why do we only realize how precious something is after we lose it? Writing and Adora. Lily, have you called Adora? I tried calling her 2 days ago, but she didn't answer. Maybe she changed her number. I left her a voicemail, but I'm not sure she heard it. If I were brave enough to call her sooner, we would still be in touch right now. Back then, I thought the best thing to do was to give her time. By calling a specific day, you can hear recordings from that day. Wow. The call was between Mom and my aunt. From her voice and coughing, I could hear how difficult it was for Mom to talk. After I left home, my pride and drive to prove myself held me back from contacting Mom. All this time, I never once thought about how Mom must have felt. I didn't think that she would regret what she had done, nor did I know that she had called me. If I had just called her when I changed my number. Chapter 4. Nevertheless. As I looked at the old attic key I found in my mom's typewriter, it reminded me of an excuse that brought me back home, finding my aunt's necklace. Maybe she knew everything and sent me here on purpose. I held the rusted key in my hand. It felt cold and hard, but somehow also warm. As I cleaned the key, Mom and Auntie's conversation continued. I felt like I was looking at myself when Adora said that someone had called her talented. She was just like my young, naive self. It was too painful to see her talking with those bright eyes full of hope. At that moment, I wasn't looking at Adora, but rather the child that I used to be. Yeah, that's definitely what we thought. That the mother was just trying to save her from the regrets that she had. But everybody's different. Doesn't always have to go the same way. The mother was just trying to save her the pain and agony of, I guess, failure. A shame that all our dreams can't come true, huh? Failure is a tough pill to swallow. Oh my goodness, this key. I could definitely use the blower on this one. Oh my. That's good. The attic key that I found inside the typewriter? What will I find in the attic? Let's go see, shall we? The recording ended with a violent cough from Mom. I was left stunned, my heart painfully heavy. After some time, I collected myself and headed to the attic with the key in tow. The attic had always been Mom's private space. When I snuck in as a child, it looked more like a storage room than somewhere fun. So I often wondered why Mom liked using it. Oh my. As if to answer that question from my childhood, I found an old desk and a chair in one corner of the room. On the desk laid a necklace and a dusty journal with an all too familiar name. If I never came back to this house and cleaned it, if I left those memories undisturbed beneath dust, I would have never learned about Mom's true feelings. I had a feeling that this diary had been waiting here all this time, just for me. I carefully brushed away the thick dust and opened it. That day, when Adora handed me her tape with such excitement on her face, I could see the hope in her eyes. That innocent face, certain she would realize her dream. I knew that face well. I was afraid that she would curse her wasted years and regret everything. I need to stop this now. For her sake, I chose to be harsh. I believed that her hating me was a lesser of two evils. Aww. When I started to tidy up Adora's belongings, I was able to see the remnants of her dreams in my hands. Through them, I could feel her sorrows and joys. That was when I looked back on my past. My younger self, who I thought naive and foolish, was shining and brilliantly as those traces of Adora. I wanted to tell her my true feelings, but I can't reach her anymore. All I can do is wait. I hope you return one day so I can tell you this. Adora, it was thanks to you that I was able to face myself again. Even though I was ashamed of my past, I was happy to see part of myself in you. I hurt you so gravely, yet you brought me comfort. I should have said this to you sooner. No matter what path you choose to walk, no matter how you live your life, I will always love and support you. Aw. Mom's diary ended there. After closing it, I noticed a letter laying on the corner of the desk. There was also something I had never seen again, the cassette tape that I recorded my first song on. I put the tape in the cassette player and opened the envelope. The letter inside contained lyrics which seemed to accompany my song. I slowly recited Mom's lyrics. My novice melody and her poetic verses complemented each other well, as if they had always been together from the very start. Oh my goodness. What would you do to see those lost birds once again? Looking above, your eyes danced with the dawning sky. Gleaming with hope, they were clear as crystal. Was it me who dusted everything? Right in my dream, you're singing to the moon and stars, even lighting up my room behind you. Oh my goodness, this game was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It was a sad story, but a really good story to tell. I really liked the mechanics of the game. I liked the peaceful calmness of the game. A great game to pick up, to relax and unwind after a hard day, while teaching a very valuable lesson. You don't want to live with regrets. Chase your dreams. Know they come with consequences sometimes. And you can't make everyone happy. And sometimes there's things that you don't understand. True meanings about the way people say things. So I thought this game was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Her singing the song now that her lyrics that her mother wrote. It's really nice. I'm glad we got to hear the finishing song. This was such a really good game, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed it and I highly recommend 10 out of 10. Guys, if you want to pick up this game, you can find it on Steam. I will leave the link down in the description below. And I hope that you enjoyed this playthrough of Undusted. And thank you again for the key. And thank you for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate that. Alright guys, I will leave you with it. You have a great night and thank you for watching. Stay sweet, stay warm, and stay super cozy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.
have some time to see